Triple M Model Railroad. As you can see here, I actually have an SD40-2, which is done in a military scheme, road number 3593. And this particular engine is actually for a friend of mine. Um, Sometime back, she was looking at a video. Yeah, I believe it was one of my, actually it was I believe the 2017 train show video, and she was looking at the video, and she particularly liked this locomotive, I remember. So I said, you know what? I said, let me get her this. This will be a nice surprise. And I actually had it for a while, as you can see. I still have it here. Uh, I put it away, and I believe I did tell her about it, but um, most likely she did forget. But I had it stored away. I said, you know what, when I can get a decoder for it and speakers, and then I'll do the installation, and I'll just give this to her, or if she can come to the layout and she can actually run the engine. But I ran into a slight problem, and that problem is I had bought some speakers from ESU, speaker and baffle set, and actually this is the second time I'm actually shooting this video because I didn't particularly like the way the other video came out. But I did buy an ESU baffle and speaker set, and you literally had to put it together, and that was pretty much a pain in the butt. I didn't particularly like that, um, but I did that, and I connected everything, and it sounded like absolute crap. And I mean crap. I mean the speakers. These are the speakers here. Actually, I actually disconnected the wires. Uh, yeah, they sound terrible. They sound absolutely terrible. The quality of the speakers are not that great, for one. ESU is not well known for their speakers, I have to admit. This is like the third time I'm dealing with their products when it comes to these speakers. And I'm always having the issue where they're always crackling and making all kind of weird noises. And, matter of fact, I built 3 of these. 2 of them have serious crackling noise, and 1 of them just doesn't work at all. So I'm very disappointed with that. I just wasted tons of money. Not tons of money, but you know what I mean. I wasted a pretty good amount of money on these speakers, hoping that they're going to sound pretty good. Just not the case. Just not the case, unfortunately. And it wasn't, at first it was a soldering issue, I think, with the first one I attempted, but afterwards I had bought a nice soldering station. This is it right here, if I could pronounce it correctly, because it's pronounced Haku FX 951. And this is one of the best soldering stations I have ever encountered and worked with. This actually does an excellent job in soldering, and it comes with a kit. It comes with other soldering points and stuff like that. And what I like about it is that it keeps. Right now it's in sleep mode, so if I pick this up, it will actually heat up. And if I put it back, this is like a little lever. If you look at it, it's like a little lever here. And you put the lever down, it goes to sleep. So it keeps the point or the tip cool, so it doesn't burn the tip, which is great. I really like it. And you can control the temperature. It's not cheap, I have to admit. It's not a cheap product, but you know, I'm going to do a lot of soldering in the future. So I said, you know what, let me just bite the bullet and just get something really, really nice. And it works very well. And this is it. Plan to get some other accessories with it. I did buy a reel, but unfortunately, the reel that this is actually a little bit too. It's actually too long for the real um, device. Let me see if I can bring it over here so I can see it. That's a weight to it too. Yeah, I don't know. It just might fit. I don't know. Yeah, it might fit. I'm being silly. To look at it, yeah, I think it might fit. I'll do that later. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. But these speakers are crap. Hey, crap. I'm sorry, ESU. They're crap. They are absolutely crap. I wired speakers before, didn't have so much of a problem with them. I had wired all kind of speakers, but these are crapola. You know. So, why are we doing this video? Well, I have found another set of speakers, and this is it. These are these speakers are from Bowser, 691-1291, and I actually heard this speaker on Drunk Bee's channel on his SD90s, which I actually and I actually fell in love with these speakers. They do sound great. Can't wait to JT Burke. I'm sorry, JT. I've been waiting for you for a while. Uh, you know, I don't know what to say, but anyway, I like these speakers. I like the way they sound. You know, pretty small profile. They're not very big. They're a little bit smaller than these, so they should fit in an Athearn pretty easily. So I decided to cut the actual connector off and actually solder it to the board. I really didn't want to do that. I was hoping to get away with it, but they look actually they look quite identical. But the one that's in here is a little bigger. It's a smidgen bigger, so it doesn't fit on the connector, unfortunately. So actually, I'm going to test these out and put it into this. It's going to be the guinea pig right now, and see how it works out, and keep my fingers crossed. So we'll be right back. All right, I soldered the connectors to the motherboard. This is a version 4 ESU decoder, 21 pin. As you can see, this is the newer Athearn due to the motherboard that it has for the LED lights and motor function. And there's the LED lights in here, and back there, and this is actually the speaker itself, the Bowser speaker. Doesn't look like much. It's pretty small. Has a smaller footprint than the ESU speakers that I have. I mean, basically, well, they're sugar cube speakers, so they're going to be small. And this one's matted in black, as opposed to what they show in the pictures. In the pictures, they show it actually has a beige color. But I like the black, even though you're not going to see it. It's taped down with some electric tape. So, how does it sound? Well, hear for yourself. You be the judge. Oh, the sound file that I downloaded for this particular engine is the SD40-2. Okay, a little on the low side, but that does sound okay. Alright, sounds okay. May have to tweak the sounds a little bit if possible. Let's go through the steps. Let's go through the notches. Hit F9 so it doesn't go anywhere. Let's go through it. Let's hear the bell. Let's hear the horn. Okay. Notch it all the way down. And power it off. Alright, what do I think? It sounds okay. Just okay. Now, when I put the shell over it, which I'll do another um, segment on that, I'll put the shell on it and see how it sounds. I mean, it does sound a little muted. I expect it to be louder, but these are sugar cube speakers, so uh, they're okay. The sound is pretty clean, but I was looking for a little bit more bass. I might be asking for a little bit too much. But with the shell over it, it's going, actually, it should be louder, and it may sound a little better. So we're going to do that next. Alright, the shell's back on. Alright, let's test her out. Let's see what she does. See the bell? Alright, the bell sounds better. Horn. Alright. Now the moment of truth. The prime mover. All right. Actually, it does sound better. Sometimes the speakers work better if it's enclosed in the body of the locomotive, and it also depends on the body of the locomotive as well. If you have like an F unit body, it will sound actually much better, believe it or not. Okay, so let's go through the steps. Let's go through all the notches. Oh, I forgot something. Good thing it didn't take off. Got to hit F9. Let's try it again. All right, let's power it off. Now, the camera phone may have amplified the sounds a little bit, so it may sound better on the phone. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't sound good. It does sound pretty good, but I expected just a little bit more out of them. I mean, again, they're getting tongue-tied, sugar cube speakers. So they're gonna sound, they're gonna have their limits when it comes to their bass. It's good on the mid end, and that's where this sound file is actually, pretty good at. It has a lot of mid end, pretty decent quality sound when it comes to the prime mover. So what are we gonna do? Um, the speaker's gonna stay in this one. I'm not gonna change it. I mean, it sounds good enough. I may change the sound file. This is not the correct sound file for this particular prototype. Even though it is nice, I kind of like it, the dash threes. But this is really a dash two. So, with prototypical style, I like to match it as best I can. I'm not actually perfect in it, but I do try. So, so in the next part, I'm going to have everything together. As you can see, it doesn't have the signs on the side of the handrails, the fuel tank. I actually put the fuel tank. Ugh, I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. I gotta put the fuel tank. I put fuel tank details on. Um, but the only problem is doing that. I'm having a problem putting it around the trucks, and I may have to pull the trucks off, which I really don't want to do, but well, let's see what I can do. And I'll show you just running up and down the track, and that'll be it for the video. Alright, we're back. Okay, I managed to get the actual signs back on the handrails. I'm waiting for them to cure, so I'm not trying not to touch them. I made some adjustments to the sound. The sound is actually um, quite loud right now. I mean, what I forgot that I had done was when I had the ESU speakers, I had turned the sound way down to try to prevent that crackling noise from propagating through the speakers. I had it down as low as 50%. So that's why the locomotive volume was not, um, it wasn't loud. So now it's actually loud. And unfortunately, I'm not keeping this sound file in this locomotive. I'm going to put the SD40-2 on this one. I just wanted to test the SD40-3 and see how that sounds. It doesn't disappoint, you know. So, all right, let's get to it. Get this started. Oh, one more thing. Make sure the track is going in the right direction. Excuse the noisy keyboard tray. Actually, the beeping sound is actually random. Sometimes it does 2 beeps, sometimes it does 5 beeps. And this time it just did 2. Alright, let's go in reverse. Right now, I set the speed step 128. All right, another project completed. I'm not gonna pack it up. Like I said, the signs on the handrails have to, glue has to basically cure to make sure they don't fall off again. And the reason why they came off in the first place was when I was trying to separate the body from the chassis. And what happens is sometimes the paint acts like glue, and it actually got stuck. So I had to really pry this thing open to try to, to get this, get to the chassis, and install the decoder. You can actually install the decoder right on top, right on the dynamic brakes. That part comes off pretty easily. Athearn's deliberately set that up, so you can actually, be an easy install. What I did was I used some tacky glue to actually tack that down so it doesn't come off too easily. But if you have to put the speakers in, like what I had to do with this model, uh, the body has to come off. So hopefully my friend likes this. Uh, I mean, it's been a while since I mentioned this to her, so most likely she had forgotten about it. But let's see what happens. I'll send her a pic and a video and see if she like it. One day she can come to the layout and she can run this. So all right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. More videos to come, and have a good evening.